Hi, folks, and welcome to the live. Up at the top, you will find the blue bar. If you so make a suggestion, that would be awesome. Hi, whoever's in the chat. Want to come in and say hi? It would be great. Just hanging out here, waiting to see if I get any folks coming in. Morning, Nora. Just walked away for a sec just to get something. Yep. I showed up to your spot. You showed up to my spot. So, how you doing? Hey, Scarlett. I wish there wasn't everyone. So far, there's just the three of us. All right, I think I'm going to start with this. Yeah, it's hot here too. No, maybe not. Let's see. I'm doing okay, honey. Hope everything's okay with you. Gotta sit a minute. I guess I'll do this. Well, I'm working on a necklace right now. Get the stupid piece to come out. Remember these I had shown the other time? Yeah, I'm going to do something with that. I know I'm starting to think that Wednesday might not be the good day for this. It might be Thursday better, but I'm here. We'll see. No, but it's all right. It is what it is. Like I said, it's going. I already started it, so. Hey, Mike. Thanks for stopping in. I know you're busy doing your thing. Oh, Angie, hang around for a second. What do you think of him up here in this corner? Yes, honey, I understand that. Yes? Okay, cool. That's where I'll put him. Gotta get a clip. Hold them in place. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. I am back. Okay, so he'll dry up in his little corner there. Yeah, I was hoping to catch you, Angie, because you started me on that little project, and I wanted you to be there in the completion of it. Well, I'm working with this and making a necklace. Well, working on the charm part first and then creating it into a necklace. Yeah, you do, Nightbird. You do late night pop ups, and Evie does 6 hour long ones. Well, you do when you're hanging out on Evie's. You wind up staying longer than you think. Yeah, she has a nice, fun but peaceful kind of environment, you know? And she educates you a little bit, you know? God, I gotta stop saying today. Mhm. And then we get to see the puppers. Just so cute. Caffeine helps. Yeah, I was just thinking, I don't think Angie realizes your age. Yeah, she does present like 10 years younger. That's all right, honey. I appreciate you stopping in and spending a little time. I know you're busy. You have a good day. I'm sure I'll see you around somewhere. And again, thank you for the gift. I haven't been outside in a little while, or I don't have anything on to tell me weather right now, but it's South Florida. What do you expect? Heat, rain. Yeah, when you have well, in the South, when you have a decent winter, your summer usually winds up being brutal. I can't see whatever that emoji is, Scarlett. Oh, you must have got it on an iPhone or something. I can see it in StreamYard, which is so weird. The sweaty hot person. But I can't see it on My Android. That's so funny. Come on, cooperate, fingers. Well, that's cute. The head of my needle, the eye of my needle got squished. I don't blame you, Angie. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Morning, Cheryl. What's going on? Yeah, that's going around, I hear. Wow. Well, that's a good baby. Mm-hmm. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Alrighty, back. Of course. Hold on. Boy, I'll tell you, it's one of them days. Avalanche. Avalanche. Yep. fingers are not cooperating today. Yep, one of them days. Brain wants to go, 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 and the body's saying, oh, hell no. Yeah, I could do that. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Dang it. Not a good day for me today for some reason.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, Scarlett. Welcome back.
So what did you decide to work on?
These are little pre-printed dresses for a teeny tiny little 4-inch tall ball jointed doll that I have in my collection. They were produced
like a Dawn doll?
No, it's a ball jointed doll. She's about 4 inches tall. I know who Dawn is. I have Dawn in my collection as well, but no, these are...
the Dawn dolls were like 4, maybe they were 4.5.
Yeah. Yeah, 4.5, 5 inches tall. Let me go grab my doll real quick, and then you'll see. I was gonna grab that case, and I forgot. It took me a little while to get set up.
It's okay, I understand that.
Scramble.
I'm in no rush.
I haven't brain so far yet this morning, so.
Cheryl, you know, I'm easy. It's all right, whatever. Uh-oh, the supervisor maybe making an appearance. What are you doing, supervisor? That's not your toys. You used to go lay down up there and be all nice for me, and now you're being a pain. Come on. Leave my stuff alone. Oh, the wire broke. This is not good. It's not my day today, I tell you. Alright.
Well, she's packed away a little deeper than I thought, so it'll get process.
I'll be right back again.
Okay, dear.
All right.
Sorry about the wobbly camera, y'all. It's tied to my table that I have to wheel back to get up out of my seat. So it jostles. A couple of these I have cut out already. Here's one of them. Thought I had done another though.
Okay. I'm back.
Well, right here.
Oh, may as well show this. You ever have those moments when the wire breaks on your threader?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's the trick.
Yeah, if you had
Get
any
a twist
idea
tie.
Yep.
Take the paper off. Sometimes they have one, and sometimes they have two wires in there.
Yeah, I've done that before.
So then you take your old wire and you cut that out. Grab a piece of Scotch tape. Fold the wire over. Put it up against your threader. Grab your tape. It ain't gotta be pretty. It's just gotta be functional. Voila, new threader.
Yeah. I've done it.
Yeah, I figured, oh shoot, I might as well show this little trick.
Yeah. Yeah, I've also just taken a piece of very small wire. I've
Yeah,
got
just use the
about
wire.
every shape in my stash, about every size, and attached it to just a little scrap of veneer plywood.
Yeah. Could
or
be
just
anything. I have
pretty
a
much,
popsicle stick.
yeah, just pretty much
Whatever.
anything.
Oh, Lord, I tell you, it's already been a morning for me, and it's barely a morning.
Yeah,
Oh, just past
I
12 for me.
I figured you'd been having one where you had to step away several times. Got something going on in your life that keeps pulling you away. It
No,
happens to all of us.
just one of those Murphy's Law days.
Yeah, he's decided to stick himself to your fanny and make you have a Monday on a Wednesday.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, da-da-da-da.
But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
these little, in each kit, there's 2
Mm-hmm.
dresses, and they're pre-printed on fabric.
Oh, it's
And
fabric.
you just cut them out and stitch them up.
And oh, that's neat.
And,
So are you going to hand stitch or machine stitch?
Yeah, hand stitch.
Yeah.
Pretty much with my dolls.
Yeah, I was going to say I like the doll's clothes to be hand done.
Yeah. I do have a my size Barbie. She's 38 inches tall. I will do like a hem on a dress and on a machine for her.
Right.
But sleeves, anything like that, yeah, I generally still do that by hand. Hems are just on a doll that tall, are miles long. And if it's a blind hem, then yeah, I hand stitch
Mm-hmm.
it. If it's a stitch hem or a roll,
Mm-hmm.
a rollover hanky hem,
Yep.
I'll do that on a machine because it's just way faster. But these little tiny dolls, yeah, everything I do is sewn by hand. Because you can't get one of their sleeves to fit in the machine when you're trying to sew it around the armpit. Because, their arm
You're not
is...
I don't even think, do they make anything like that for the consumer? I don't even think they make something that'll do something that tiny for the consumer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's dolls out there as small as 2 inches tall.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't think there's a machine that they sell to the general consumer that would do that. No,
there's not.
See, I sew, but I don't do a ton of sewing.
Yeah, me too. I don't just sell doll clothes. I mean, I made drapes last summer,
Oh, you just reminded me. I gotta work on the drapes for Victoria.
Yeah. I don't particularly care to make human clothes all that much. I mean, I've done it. It's not my favorite thing to do. But I do modify and alter stuff,
Mm-hmm.
so it'll fit my fanny better. Or sis, she needs jeans shortened or whatever, that kind of stuff. I've done that stuff. And Callie, you're right in the middle of my work. I can't see. I can't reach.
Darn it. Yeah. After all this.
She gets all excited when I move my laptop over. She's like, oh, I can lay on your table.
Yeah.
She could lay on my table before, but, she's a cat.
Mm-hmm.
This table I use is actually the type that you roll over your bed.
Oh,
It's long, and it's got the adjustable legs. This one will fit twin to queen.
That's neat.
But,
I'm actually at my dining table.
Yeah. I don't have a dining table anymore. It was always a catch-all. We never used it. We were raised, we didn't have a table. And eating
Right,
the
you were
table coming down with my spine is
TV tray or on your
painful.
It's either TV tray or right on your hand on the couch.
Yeah. Yep. That's what we did. And I had the whole dining room set up here, and I'm currently in the process, a very slow process, of converting my dining room into an office. So, because that is going to work a lot better for us than a dining room. Eventually, my dining room has patio doors. It's a mobile home.
I live in one too.
From the 90s, classic. Got to have the patio door in the dining room. And yeah, I want that gone. I'm not a patio door kind of girl.
Mine opens up. Well, mine used to open up to one floor up the Florida room and one to the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk into my place, you walk directly into my kitchen.
Yeah. Here you walk into the living room.
Yeah, I thought it was just an odd thing to be in the kitchen, but it's what it is.
In Florida, from what I understand, it's pretty standard.
Oh, to walk into the kitchen area? Yeah, but I've seen many of them down here when I was looking around that it wasn't. It was into the living room.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of them that do go directly into the kitchen.
It might just be those were newer ones and the older ones went into the kitchen.
Yeah, could be.
Because this is an older home. This is 79? Mine's like a 79.
Yeah.
Mine's a tin can.
No, mine has wood siding, shingles. It's a double wide, so.
Yeah, I'm in a single wide tin can.
Yeah, a lot of the single wides back in the day used to go into the kitchen, or the door was, when you stepped in, you'd like look right and it was in the kitchen. You look left and you were in the living room, and the door was kind of right on the line there. That's pretty standard around here in the older ones. But with this one, you walk in the front door, and you're in the living room, and it's an open floor plan. You're looking directly at the dining room. The kitchen is off to the right. And then there's a hallway, not really a hallway. It's a hallway here, the way I've got things set up right now. But, you step on in and you look to the left and is the family room. The family room is my craft room. So it's just me and sis. We don't need all that. And my craft room at my old house, which was my childhood home, it was out. Half of the garage had been converted, and it was the one half was sealed off from the other and made into a room, and it had a gas heater, and it had a window air conditioner and a side door that you went in.
Right.
And when we moved here, my craft room had to be moved into the home. So a good bit of my wood cutting stuff, my planer, my lathe, and all that had to go. Because, mobile home park, you only have a little shed. And, I didn't want my
to drag it in and out would be a nightmare.
Well, you wouldn't be able to. I mean, that stuff weighs a ton.
That's what I'm saying. It would be a nightmare every time you wanted to work on it. To struggle to get it out and set it up. And
yeah, and I couldn't move the thing.
Yeah.
There's just no way, so. I kept my bandsaw, but it's currently still residing in a garage at a house about an hour and a half from here. Because I was going to build a new shed, larger floor plan. The one we have is an 8x8. I was going to do a 12x12, and hadn't gotten that far before my spine blew, and then several other ligaments in my shoulders
Right.
tore out. So don't know if that's going to happen. If it's going to happen, I'm going to have to save up the money and custom order.
Right.
Tissue, Kelly. Just draw up the plans and take them to the lumberyard and have them build it and deliver it. But yeah, that'll cost about $12,000. That, on my fixed income, not going to happen. Even with sis and me combined. Especially right now, not going to happen.
Oh, heck no, not with economy. Yeah.
Yeah, she got a $2 an hour raise. And we haven't even felt it because it immediately got absorbed by inflation.
Well, even more than that. That a lot of people were like, oh yeah, we want, minimum $15 an hour. And I'm thinking, okay, you got to think about that a second, because that's going to put you up in another tax bracket. You're going to see a few cents on each of those, maybe 30 cents or so on each of those extra dollars.
Mm-hmm.
It just sounds good. Oh yeah, $15 minimum wage. Oh yeah, the taxes just went up too, and they're going to take another hunk. So you're really not getting much more.
Yeah. Well, hello, Jasmine.
Hi, baby.
Yeah, this is the kitten.
I know, it's a baby.
Probably trying to snick my fabric here.
Look what you got. What can I play with?
Yeah, I got up earlier in the morning to use the restroom. Noticed my... Ow! Jasmine.
Uh-oh. Kitty claws.
She walked around on the back of the sofa, and I happened to reach back to scratch my shoulder, and she pounced.
You moved. Your fault.
Little needle claws. But, I noticed my clock blinking, and I was like, ugh, and it's dreary raining, so you can't tell what time of day it is, and I was just like, screw it, I'm going back to bed. Well, no sooner did I lay down and I heard peeping.
Oh, yeah.
Because she was still crated. And I thought, well, it must be late enough.
She's annoying you. Meow, meow, meow. Yeah.
And normally, when we're asleep, she's crated. But she's right on that edge. She's just about ready to not have to be crated at night anymore. Well, we'll do a trial run. So I came, got her out, carried her to bed with me, Yeah, there wasn't no going back to sleep. Pounce, 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 pounce. Going after my feet, going after, whatever.
Yeah, anything that moved, right?
Yeah. But okay, this ain't gonna work. So I went ahead and got up and still discombobulated and come on, are you gonna cut? Trying to cut that curve on that armpit. And my scissors aren't particularly wanting to cooperate. There we go, I made the curve.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta use the X-Acto on those little tiny corners like that. Insets.
Well, I've got my Rolly cutter here, which is a teeny tiny. It's just a little one.
Yeah, but that's even still.
The corner still, you gotta.
One wrong, you're cutting the whole thing in half.
Yeah. Well, this is a knit fabric. Why they did these on knit, no idea. But
because probably the actual dresses they modeled them after were.
I don't know. These were created digitally on a computer. and produced through Spoonflower. By a gal that was in our doll groups, my doll collectors groups years ago. I've had these for a good while, good 7-8 years, and found them in my sewing cabinet and thought, something I need to get done. And I've got, for this size doll, I have all of the ones that she made. And then I've got several of them in other sizes. She did 5 sizes. But, I don't know, there wasn't the greatest definition of what dolls they fit kind of thing.
Right.
I mean, now it's just sold in yardage kind of stuff. They don't even tell you anything. And I've got a little legend that of what dolls the sizes are for that she put in a post years ago. We're not even using that platform anymore. We had to move platforms.
Right.
So referring back isn't an option. But I found the legend in my collector's journal. I've got a journal that I keep notes
Goodness.
for.
Good for you.
Shoe
Because
sizes.
it would be a lot
sizes.
of measuring to figure out if, okay, yeah, it'll fit this doll. Because, sometimes the arms are a little different. There'll be slight different.
The easiest way is just sew one up and, okay, that's probably going to fit such and such, or maybe such and such. Grab them off the shelf and try it on. Than it is to try to,
figure it out beforehand.
Yeah, my problem is right now is I just resorted and culled my collection and packed them in totes because they're going to be doing a remodel on my bathroom.
Right, and you want to protect them, right?
Yeah, it's a home modification thing through my in-home long-term care.
Oh yeah, for the make ease of access and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want them getting covered in sawdust and sheetrock, gypsum dust and all that. And that's why I can't get a hold of her right now. I'm gonna have to have Sis help me shuffle some totes for me to access her. But I need to make up a little dress for her and do a little photo shoot for my groups. The doll's out of production. The artist closed up shop, has now reopened, but isn't re-releasing her. He went back to his big money one. Then when he closed up shop, he quit producing, and everybody was like, seriously? So now he's brought her back, but he's brought her back. The doll I'm referring to is Elowen Wild.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, Robert Tonner is the designer or artist that created the dolls and fashions. Oh my God. You can pretty much get one of the dolls for, I'd say, under $100 for a good, perfect condition one. But yeah, the old fashions that he put out back in the day when that was going, when it was still active, it's nothing. Just see people on eBay drop $250 for one outfit.
Yeah.
And the doll is 16 and a half inches tall. So it's still really tiny clothes, but they're high fashion, done to scale. Which, isn't that easy to do with trims and details, trying to find them that will work for that scale. but he did it,
Mm-hmm.
and his clothes look authentically high fashion, Rodeo Drive, Hollywood kind of
Right.
quality. But yeah, they're teeny tiny. Which I can do that sewing for, most things. But yeah, that name on it,
Right.
big business. He made a name for himself. And yeah, he just decided to close up shop, and then he was going to collaborate with somebody, and they were doing stuff, and apparently that didn't go so great. So then he was going to collab with somebody else, and then Rona hit.
Yeah.
And in the middle of Rona, he decided to bring back Bellow and Wild, which I have that family of dolls, which is I think three or four females and a male. I've got one of each, but I just bought the basics. I bought the male used on eBay when he was still in business, so decent prices.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the females was gifted to me. I helped a gal do a crap ton of research that she needed to do, and she gifted me that doll, new in box.
That's cool.
Thank you for assisting her in her endeavors. And and I love sewing for them. I haven't sewn for dolls as much since I moved here because when I'm able, I'm working on the house, repairing this or changing that or
Right.
whatever, which is what I was doing to begin with before my body decided to
give the hard left turn.
Yeah. Yeah, it wanted to take a stage right, and I didn't. I was still in the thick of it. I was landscaping the yard, putting in flower beds and tilling up the soil and putting in borders and all that stuff when my back decided that it was done. But I went and seen my pain management guy yesterday, and I was going to opt in for an SCS, which is a spinal cord stimulator implant, and he brought up another option that would be less invasive, even less invasive than that. I was going for that because it was less invasive than
full on
fusion.
back, full on surgery.
It was an opportunity to see whether or not my body was going to reject the foreign materials that they would have to implant in my body.
Right.
But he brought this other thing up where they go in and they do a test run with a type of, it's kind of like Novocaine, and they do 3 injections on each side of the region where your spine is blown to see how your pain levels are with that area numbed.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just a test run, because if that is effective, they can go in and basically fry the nerve endings.
Right. And if they're
area.
still functionable and able to whatever, then that's cool,
Yeah, until they try to come back together, heal back together, which can be, he said, anywhere from 6 months to 36 months.
The nerves regenerate, right?
That we could do that. So he has to get pre-approval through my insurance for the test run and what have you. And, if it's approved, then I guess we do that twice just to confirm.
Right.
And it only lasts for maybe a day or so. But, if that area being numbed substantially
improves you,
helps with your
right.
pain levels, then that's the way to go. And there
That's
won't be
neat.
anything implanted that my body could reject.
Right.
So,
Oh, that's a good option.
so we're going to try that. And if that don't work, then we'll proceed with SCS requirements, which are kind of extensive, but they even need a psyche valve.
Right, yeah.
Like what? But hey,
well, they're like, oh, the
their
pain's
hoops.
in your head. Yeah, okay, sure, no problem.
Yeah, even though the MRIs,
I've had to go through a
numerous
couple of
MRIs
those.
confirm
Yeah.
otherwise. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go through a couple of those for insurance. It's like, seriously.
Now, this will be my first of going through that, but
yeah, unfortunately, I've been through 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Well, because I have back injuries, but mine is mainly the fibromyalgia, and there's really no
documentable. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing that they can see. There's no real test, although you hear about that test. That's nonsense. Test that they can do to say, yes, that's what it is. It's because it's a diagnosis of exclusion. And with me, I only got retired out because I'm at a level, there's 3 different levels of it, and I'm at the worst level. Yeah. And that's the only one that they'll retire you out.
Yeah.
You can get temporary disability on the other 2. And then basically, if the thing improves, then they'll retire you. I actually had to wait 2 years for my retirement.
Dang.
Yeah, so they put me on a temporary disability. And then after 2 years, and the doctors are going, no, not going to change, not going to get better, and probably going to get worse, on top of her other injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played that
retire her up.
Too.
But because I retired so dang early, my checks
are small.
Yeah. So
yeah, I know the feeling.
Gosh, it looks like it's just you and me hanging today again.
Yeah, well.
I was thinking that seems like because I look back at I started getting analytics, and it seems like Thursday seems to be better than Wednesday for some reason.
Yeah, that's often the case. Not sure what it is about Wednesdays, but yeah, it's that way with auctions as well.
Yeah, so I think next week I'm probably going to start doing this Thursday and not Wednesday, because I tried Thursday twice, and so I did a couple Wednesdays and they were okay, but this one and the last one, it really was like pretty dead. So I'm like, yeah, might not be a good day.
Wednesdays seem to work better in the winter and in the summer.
That's unusual. Yeah, so weird thing,
I mean, here, the downtown stays open later on Wednesdays. Also, farmers market is open Wednesdays. Summer things.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And I'm sure there's other variations, all over the country. This is just good old classic Midwest life. Farm life, but it's just that kind of thing that hangouts on Wednesdays work better. Auctions not so much on Wednesdays any time of the year.
Well, everybody jumps on that for hump day. I mean, even Johnny does that hump day auction, whatever.
Yeah. And he seems to do okay, but he does it earlier in
the
day.
But it's
Wednesday
not
evenings, however.
Right.
Yeah, I haven't seen a seller yet that does exceptionally well on a Wednesday night.
I mean, unless you're looking to sell your items for a few dollars a piece, it's when you on those kinds
Yeah.
of things, I've noticed that the higher the prices, the less sales, but the lower the prices on days like today, things fly. I mean, things move, but you got to be willing to get rid of it for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. I'm gonna rest my hands for a second. The scissors in my hands.
Know the feeling.
Well, my hands are still sore from all the stitching and stuff I was doing on that bag. Kind of a couple of days there of pretty heavy duty, long hours of trying to get that bag done. But my brain didn't want to cooperate. I'd stitch this and it's on backwards. So frog it out, put it back, do it again. Yeah. Finally that night, I mean, I was literally working up to like an hour before my turn on the auction. And finally my body was just like, you're done. You're not going to get the freaking lining in. Just stop. And, because I just kept screwing up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just stopped and got set up, with my camera and everything and just rolled with it because, my brain was not cooperating.
No, it worked out great. It showed great. I think you did a good job on showing it. It was nice.
Well,
and then giving the idea of, what's to come with the
put together
lining.
I just put it in, but otherwise, I definitely want to get that main zipper on. I mean, the smaller zippers, those were all done. Those have been done for days. But there was steps to get to the point to put the big main zipper on. And I literally got that done and started looking at the liner and my body was just like, you're done. The liner will get done later. You're done. And so, but at least I had that zipper on.
Well, the main idea of you had the main body of the bag done. So, people got the idea of what it was going to look like.
I wasn't selling it. I don't think it would have mattered if I had the bag together or not. If I would have just showed the freaking flap raw like I showed it when I was working on it on your show day or two before. This is the flap on a backpack. It wouldn't have really mattered, because it wasn't like a win competition. There wasn't like, first place, second place, or anything like that. Mainly they just needed to see where the usage of the stones was. At least in my eyes, to meet the qualification to do the next one, kind of thing.
Right.
And I would have had it done. It wouldn't have been a problem if I hadn't strained my back. But I strained my back to save a life. I actually strained my back to save 3 lives because I also saved the 2 birds. So, to me, win-win.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good. I just had to get, 2 weeks of the work time. I couldn't sew a stitch. I was so sore. Sis was off 2 weeks taking care of me. It was that bad. So, big scheme of things, I think I did pretty good considering what the obstacles were to get there.
Yeah. No, you did awesome.
Then, sitting in front of that
you did awesome.
Machine,
And I can, I guess as a crafter, I can imagine. Well, and I kind of was like, when you took off the beads and I saw it without the beads, I noticed that right away. But I'm like, you know what? I think she was right because I'm looking at that going.
I think after the fact, too busy, it was muddling it. It was taking it away from the focus of the design.
Right after the fact, after you removed it and I saw it because you had already started it when I first saw it. So then when I saw it naked, I'm like, oh,
naked.
Yeah, good. No. Yeah, that was good.
It's just sometimes you get so deep into it you can't see the forest for the trees, and sometimes you just gotta step back, look, and edit. And that's what I did. I edited. And funny thing is I put a ring of beads around the beaded bezel that I did for the cat's eyes, and I liked that. But I also tried to run it across to create the circle where the pond would go that I was trying to work for. I didn't like that. So, and where it was continuous, I had to go back in and reinforced the rings around the bezels, basically reseed them, and to be able to frog out the lines that I had run.
Right.
to ensure everything was solid, and I did that. And when I did that, the pond that I had started, I was just like, no, not going to work. It's too much. It's taken away from. I tried the ombre effect with the water, didn't like it. And finally I was just like, yeah, it's gone. And I frogged the whole thing out. I was just like, no, this ain't working.
Well, when you think about it and you step back from it, the whole thing's in a pond of water in the blue.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's kind of what it made appearance as when you remove that.
Yeah.
The other colors in there, it looked like it was floating on water kind of thing. This is the denim.
Yeah. The denim didn't show through on the camera very well, though. It looked black, and everybody thought it was leather. But nope, denim.
I saw it as blue on mine.
It was actually it's a pair of jeans that I.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that. I saw them as blue. I saw it as blue on my screen.
Yeah, not everybody did though.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people thought it was like goat hide, supple leather. Sorry for the gyration. The cat is scratching her ear on my table, so it moves the whole table, which means
nobody's watching anyway. You're not making anybody dizzy but yourself.
Yeah, but if people rewatch,
I know, but that's okay. It wasn't that bad. Hey, but my phone, my stuff falling all over the place. I'm surprised,
Yeah,
I don't know how many people shut it off at that point.
Who knows? I think people just start, take off with their day, and this is interesting. I'm trying to carefully trim these edges. I don't want the marked edge, the drawn edge on there. A lot of people sew these little things like this, and they leave that line.
Oh yeah, because they think they got to sew on that line, but that's not really. It's supposed to not be there.
Yeah, you're supposed
because sometimes it comes through on the
inside the line. I cut outside while I'm.
The initial,
cutting because but then I go back and I remove that line.
Yeah.
Because it's annoying.
Well, when you sew on that line, it just.
Well,
you're never gonna unless you're whatever, right? And the lines comes out at the edge of it because you went too far south, and then it's really not the edge of the outfit. It's like then there's a little gap of white space or whatever color, and it's like, oh man.
Well, even on the quilter's cotton craft panels, people will leave the lines and then blanket stitch, and there's that line, gleaming through the blanket stitch, and I'm like, ugh. No, I got to get rid of the line.
I'm a line removing person too.
Just bugs the jeepers out of me. I'm a Libra, so everything has to have balance, and everything has to be just. So,
I'm Capricorn. Oh well, Sagicorn, I guess. Depending on what zodiac you're looking
organic. At. And I struggle with freeform organic because of the Libra in me.
Well, I can do freeform organic stuff.
I can, but it's a struggle along the journey. I can.
Well, yeah, because you want to, you do it, and then you look at it, and you want to, in your mind, you want to fix it.
Yeah. Yep, that's me.
And then you got to convince yourself it's supposed to look that way.
Yep. Yeah, it's an ongoing internal dialogue.
Yep.
Nope, gotta leave it alone,
But if I do this, it'll just make it look so much, but I can't do that because then it's not really that. I get it.
Yep. Touchy spot here. Because the line merges and it has a Peter Pan collar look on it. And you got to leave the edge for the Peter Pan collar. So And this stuff isn't supposed to fray, but yeah, I see some slightly roughening edges, so it will get fray checked before I assemble.
Start. Yeah.
Especially on the side seams where I bring it together. These are super simple to do. They're just fiddly because they're so tiny. I didn't get as many of the larger sizes where the gal had. Just a few.
I mean, I do get watch backs. I don't have like the full analytics yet.
Yeah.
But I do get people that watch. I just can't tell really how far they're watching into it.
Yeah.
I mean, because they are kind of long. It's not like watching a regular instructional video or whatever.
Yeah, it's
or
not
it's
like
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
But I don't want to. There's so much of that out there.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? In all the places I go and whatever, I noticed suddenly, after I started doing this, I noticed that suddenly people are doing a lot more of these kind of lives. I'm like,
yeah. There is more of it going on, and I like that.
Oh yeah, I like it, but it's just like, oh, it's interesting. I had.
Yeah, I hear you.
When I started, I think there was only like 2 channels that I subscribed to that were doing a crafting kind of day.
Hang on, yeah.
And then one that was all craft, because she does the junk journals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Everything with her was craft. But and that's kind of where it was for a long time. And then suddenly this summer, I guess, I don't know what's about this summer, everybody wants to do like this, hang out, one other person maybe on there, maybe 2 other people, and craft.
Mm-hmm. I love those though. I look
Mm-hmm.
for them.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's kind of strange, and it was channels that didn't have that on there before.
I think there's still plenty of people out that aren't doing gatherings to stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're doing more craft hangouts on here because they're craving that interaction and that camaraderie with fellow crafters.
Right.
And I also think that it is in part to
the economy.
Yeah, that too, but
because people can't really spend, so they like watching now the stuff where they're not obligated or feel obligated to spend money.
Yeah, that too, but also people aren't like even hanging out with just 1 or 2 friends coming over and crafting together kind of thing.
I don't even have anybody that I know in my life that crafts.
Me neither, not a ditty bird. And Sis isn't a crafter, and yeah, I miss being able to interact with people. I've never went to like craft stuff, quilting bees or any of that.
The funniest thing in the world, I think I'm an okay person, personality wise. I think I'm pretty all right.
Mm-hmm.
There was one time what the heck was it? I can't remember what it was called. Something where you could meet people for groups, like whatever, different groups. Can't remember the name of the thing, but anyway, meet up or something. I can't remember. And I went out of my way, because it was out of my way, to go to this group, a crafting group, where you just brought whatever you were crafting. Everybody did different things or whatever. And you hung around basically a coffee shop and drank coffee and craft and whatever. And then I thought I had a decent time. And then I get an email. I'm like, what the heck is this? Boom. We don't think you'd fit into our group. I'm like, okay. If you feel that way, that's fine. And I never want to say anything like that again.
Yeah, that's just weird.
Because I don't think I'm like... And I thought we had a decent time. We were all laughing. Everybody was doing their thing, asking each other questions about what they were doing, you know. Seemed like a good time. Don't know what happened.
There's some craft get-together type stuff like that where, I don't know, they're just snooty. You know,
but they didn't seem that way in the moment.
Oh, no, of course not. But, yeah, they're Hawkeye-ing you the whole time. You know, I've dealt with that kind of stuff my whole life. You know, I mean, I was a nerd amongst nerds in school, and you know, into my adulthood, I've always been kind of a misfit, and you know, society's peripheral peoples. You know,
mm-hmm.
It's like I should be living down in the sewer somewhere or something. You know, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But you know, they want me Johnny on the spot if they have something that they want me to do for them. But
oh yeah,
you know. And yeah, I've never been one to have a lot of friends.
It was just I just read that, and at first it kind of hurt me a little bit, and then I'm like, why the hell am I hurt over people who don't get me? So why the hell be hurt over that? You know?
Yeah.
Fine. Whatever.
Well, you're gonna immediately respond to something like that with emotion. But yeah, once you just step back and use your brain. Then you're like, really, you know?
I look at it now as that was their loss. Should have saved me from traveling. I mean, it was a while. It was like a 40-minute drive for me to get to where that particular meetup was, and they typically met out in that area. And I was like, dang, yeah, no, not worth it.
Exactly.
Not even gonna do it again. Didn't even bother. Didn't even look again because it was like,
I had one friend that did a bit of crafts and would come over and hang out and craft. The only problem was she didn't bring anything. She expected me to supply everything. It's like, really?
And then take it home.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you know, shop in your own backyard, lady. You know, kind of thing.
It's like, I'm gracing you with my company, so you got to supply my entertainment. I hate people like that. Well, I mean, it's one thing if you planned ahead and like she gave you a little money or whatever, and you went, okay, we're going to do this together, and you went out, you know, she contributed and you went out and got the supplies or whatever. Yeah. Okay. You know, but yeah,
no, that wasn't the case. It was one of those, and yeah, next time we were gonna get together, you know, I was just like, you know, BYOS, you know, bring your own, you know what, and you know, yeah,
she got all offended.
No, she didn't get offended. She just didn't show up.
Oh well,
you know. But
I don't know. I'm an easygoing person. I'm fine with most everything. Most everything until you really got. I mean, to get me pissed off, you really got to do something.
Yeah.
Little things, I'm kind of, you know. Everybody has moments and days and whatever, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I have the patience of Job for. Ignorance, I will teach. I will teach. Patience, I will teach. Stupidity, aka they know it and they're just too lazy to do it, expect me to do it for them. No. You know, I had to take the time to learn. Oh, well, I just don't have the patience for that. Well, I don't have the patience to do all your shit for you. You know?
Yeah.
So when I used to do the craft circuit once or twice, I had somebody try to glom onto me. They'd have like a laundry list of all these crafts that they wanted made, and they wanted me to do them, but yet, they didn't want to pay me to do them. And I'm like, I'm in this to make money. I'm not in this to be your little slave. So yeah, sayonara, baby. And they were highly offended. Well, and I'm like, that's a hole in the ground. And that's where your idea of having me become your own personal crafter has went. So
yeah,
that hits my stupid meter. If you really think you're going to be able to go on to somebody and that they're going to jump through your hoops for you, for nothing, no less. I mean, she didn't want to provide supplies. She just wanted me to cough up. And I'm like, really?
And do what with the product? Sell it?
No, she just wanted this in her home and this in her home and this in her home, but she didn't know how to make any of it. So, I was just supposed to make it for her. And supply the supplies to make it for her. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that didn't go over. She didn't. Not a single thing. I didn't make a single thing. Nope. I don't play those games.
People like that, though, you would have spent, even if you were one of those people who are a little weaker and would have done that. Whatever, an X amount of years or year or whatever, she would be basically either selling all the junk or throwing it out. In her mind, it would be old and junk, and she wanted something new. That sounds like that kind of person,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, the minute you got it done, she'd want something else. No.
Oh, well, I don't know about them yellow pillows and.
Yeah, they're not. They're too bright. I wanted it this color or this shade. Yeah, right. And they'd start picking it to death. No, I don't play those games. Not a chance.
Only person I craft for free for is me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not necessarily free. Gotta buy supplies, but you know what I mean, the labor.
Yeah.
I do this for me. Even this is for me.
This is sanity and pain control for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not burning out at the hands of somebody else for nothing. No.
Mm-mm.
I mean, constantly, I do hangouts and people pop in and, are you going to sell that? Or can I, get you to make one? Or they'll, message me or email me after.
Yep. X amount of money first, X amount of money when the product is done.
No,
if it's a bigger thing.
No. The stuff that I mostly do now for myself is far more intricate, far more advanced, and far more technical than what I used to sell in the craft circuit back in the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And labor-wise, you're never going to get your money out of it, I don't know how much time I have left on this earth, and am I going to spend it, making stuff that I'm not going to get near the value that it should be? Because usually it's somebody low income that needs me, that's wanting me to do this stuff, and I just can't, because usually what they're offering wouldn't even cover supplies. Now I have gifted,
Oh, there's a difference.
But usually what people want me to make is the farthest thing from what I would actually make.
Mm-hmm.
It's a theme or something that doesn't appeal to me, or, that kind of thing. And I've got to have a passion. There's got to be passion in there.
Right, it just becomes a laborious thing if you do something like that.
Yeah, and when you turn your craft into a burden, you burn out. Mm-hmm. And the crafts that I do now are the crafts that I have wanted to do my whole life. And, I'm doing them for me. So yeah, I don't sell handmaids at all anymore.
Well, I'll sell. But, I'm not
Oh, I know.
like telling people that they gotta buy. It's like, hey, if you see something, let me know, contact me, whatever. And like I had the rare occasion to sell something with Mountain Trails with Mr. Jim.
Mm-hmm.
So I took advantage of the situation that was there. So presented to me. So I said, you know what? Yeah.
Make a few bucks to be able to get some more supplies for what you want to make,
Right, yeah. Exactly. And my stuff, when it comes to the jewelry and the smalls, I don't really make multiples of things.
No, you're a one-offer like I was.
And it's
I did
like
some multiple stuff.
It's very rare. It's like I have 2 of these earrings, but they're not ever gonna. It's not gonna look the same when I do the other one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be something totally different.
Yeah. Well, like I've got this tarot bag that I still need to finish. And once I got the backpack done, I was going to, but a kitten entered my life, which is the reason why I got shelved to begin with. Working with delicate seed beads with a kitten in the house, because are expensive. So it's on the shelf again for a while. But it is a fully peyote stitched woven bag. It's nice. It's not beads embroidered on.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I can grab it and show you. I modified it from the original pattern, was putting a lid on it to make a tarot bag. Originally, it was supposed to just be an open-ended amulet bag.
Mm-hmm.
But let me grab it. It's just behind me here. Oh, come on, Dean. Watch your toes, Munchkin. Good girl. That's Jennifer in the kitchen making a riot.
It's okay.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh.
Let me raise my camera up a bit.
Oh,
I've got
that's
tissue
nice.
stuffed in it. Just try to keep it. But this is the one side. And
beautiful.
Then here was this is the beginnings of the lid.
Mm-hmm.
Now look at the other side.
Oh my goodness. That is amazing. Wow.
And every bit of that is peyote stitched beads.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beads and thread. But now I widened the sides and widened the bottom, and then I'm adding a lid, and then there's a lip around the lid that is woven to blend right in with the motif.
Right.
On it. And then I've got in this little triangle of black space right there is going to be a bead or a button. I think I got a button. And then there'll be a loop closure on the flap.
Right.
But yeah, these are this is to hold a tarot deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that this motif, being a seer, she's holding a silver or a a crystal ball.
I saw it. Mm-hmm.
Divination. So I thought that the motif would be perfect. This is a close-up of a woman in a larger painting from, I think, the Renaissance. Can't remember the artist. I love the painting. And it's one of the few paintings that has red that I love. I'm not a big red person at all. But I loved this even though it has red. And
Mm-hmm.
This is from a pattern book from Design Originals from the 90s. And I've had that. I bought it new back in the day.
Right.
I've had that pattern book all these years, but it took me a while to buy up.
Excuse
all the
me, don't
CDs.
step on that. The supervisor has arrived. What can I help you with?
But anyways, I'll get her finished, and I'm gonna line it with this plaid. This is actually a drawstring bag. Something came in, but I thought, oh, that'd be perfect fabric to line this with. So I'm going to take it apart and use the flannel to line it.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Yeah, this project had, I think, close to 40 colors of delicas. And the gold in it, those are the 24 karat gold delicas.
Yep, they're the baby.
You know, that you buy a
Stop it, supervisor.
Very teeny tiny tube of them because they're 24 karat gold. You know, took me a good bit to save up to get those. But,
shoo. You're being a pain.
I mean,
getting all in my face.
Just the one, or?
No, I have 12.
Ah.
Well, I have 9. I have 8 that are mine, 1 stray that I take care of, 9. And my roommate has 3, but he's always gone all the time, so I take care of them too.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
So 12.
Most I've ever had is 10 at one time.
Yeah, this is the most I've ever had. 2. Usually it was just 1 or 2.
In my fostering that I've done, I've never had like a whole litter of kittens. It's always just been a solo, a single that got abandoned or.
Well, that's kind of what happened to me, because 7 of them are a mom and her 6 kids.
Mm-hmm.
She showed up under my house very, very pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And very, very young.
I had.
And I'm like, oh boy.
It was a nice day out, and I was out in my shop working, and a cat. I had the inside door open and my screen door, you know, just propped open. I don't know, about 6 or 8 inches, just to let in a little breeze. It was a little too windy to have it open all the way. The wind was going to be flinging it around, and she just trotted into the shop.
Can I help you?
And it was like, hello, you know, what can I do for you? And she was hungry and thirsty and bulgingly pregnant. And, you know, took her to the vet, got her checked. She was fine, except she was a little dehydrated, blah, 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 you know, which I was taking care of, you know. And, you know, I thought,
stop. Baby girl, please go lay down.
I got her cleared of quarantine. And brought her in the house, and she didn't want anything to do with any of the other cats in the house. She was already guarding because she was that heavily pregnant.
Well, what's interesting, the one that I had was fine and dandy with my older cat I had at the time. No problems. She was about a week or so in the house. No issues. They even slept together, hung out. It was like 2 peas in a pod. But the day she was going to give birth,
that changed.
Oh my God, did that change? Every time she, you know, the older one would come in basically to kind of look at her, check on her basically in the room. She'd get all hissy and get away from me, you know, swat.
I think what happened with this gal, I think she got dumped because she was pregnant.
Oh yeah, I think.
And she didn't want to be in a home. She didn't want to be in a home. She wanted to be on a farm barn cat kind of on a farm
Right.
life. That's what she wanted. And she was an alpha. That was obvious. So I called, it's a local private nonprofit pet rescue that we have here in town. And I said, do you have anybody reputable that needs a farm cat, barn cat, and needs kittens because she's heavily pregnant? And she checked her list and she said, yeah, we have a young couple. They just bought a ranch out off of Americus Road, which is just west of me, about, I don't know, it's probably about 8 miles from me, maybe 10. And yeah, they've got 2 or 3 older kittens, about 3 months old, running around, but they don't have an adult cat. The adult cat was taken out by, I think it was a coyote. And yeah, we need a barn cat.
Yeah, an adult to train the kittens too.
Yeah. And we were planning on more kittens, so the fact that she's pregnant, they wouldn't have a problem with. So I called them and they were like, yeah, bring her out. Let's see how she does. So I did. And we stepped out of the van in the drive, which was just gravel, and then it was yard, and then the house. And I opened up the side door, pulled the crate out, set it on the ground, opened the door. She popped out of there and ran up on the porch and was rolling around on the concrete flat of the porch, and it was pretty much a newer build, less than a year old, newer build ranch. So I think they just bought land and had everything built around a barn, an already existing barn. And yeah, she ran up on the porch and was rolling around, just purring to beat the band. And she went and rubbed up on their legs, the mom, the dad, and then there was a little girl. And I told him, I said, I don't know how she is with children. I don't have children. I've only known her for like 48 hours. But I said she has been vet checked and vetted for disease and, etc. And got her first shots. But oh my God, she was so happy. She went and rubbed around on the toddler. The toddler grabbed her fur, of course. Didn't faze her a bit. She just kept purring and reached up and licked the little girl on her cheek. And I thought, yeah, she's kid friendly. They tried, I said, are you going to have her indoor outdoor? I said, well, we don't know. It'll depend on her. She can come in if she wants. They tried opening the front door. She went and sniffed and turned around and rolled back on the porch again. She didn't want to have that moment anyways. But I said, she seems awful happy. And they're like, yeah, we're about as happy as she is. We are more than happy to give her a home. And
That's
so
cool.
I looked at her and I said, you're home, girl. She came running up to me, wrapped around my legs, put my arms out. She jumped up in my arms and was just purring. And I thought, okay, girl, you're home.
Yep.
And she had the babies. And
So apparently she must have got along with the little ones too.
yeah, she went and checked out the other kittens. The kittens came up because there was a cat, They came running up. She was loving on them, licking on them, cleaning on them. Yeah, she found home. Yeah, she definitely found home. So she was just as happy as could be. And like I said, just a few days later, had the kittens. So perfectly content. So yeah, she found her forever home. And as street smart as she was, living out on the farm with the wildlife, the coyotes, the foxes, and all that, in the wild, yeah, that wasn't gonna faze her none. So yeah, she was a happy girl, and I didn't have to deal with a litter of kittens. there was one other cat that we rescued. She was literally in a little alcove going into a Godfather's Pizza downtown. Super thin. Her fur was like straw. And took her in, and she was pregnant. Very early pregnant. She was also feline leukemia positive.
Oh.
She was a carrier, but she wasn't succumbing to it. Well, the kittens would have had it. She wouldn't have survived having the kittens because she was that depleted. She was anemic, and she was paper thin and malnourished, and it wasn't going to be a viable pregnancy. And I hated doing it, but yeah, we had to abort the litter and spay her to save her life. And we had her a little over 5 years. And in one of those years, when we took her in for her vaccines, they didn't pay attention to the paperwork and gave her a feline leukemia vaccine. It did not trigger it. It caused a spindle cell sarcoma in the injection site radius to develop. And she died of cancer. She developed a mass. We took her in, had surgery, had it removed. They tested it, did the pathology on it. And yeah, it was spindle cell sarcoma, which is one of the worst in a cat that you can get. And before the incision had even healed, it had grown back larger than it was to begin with, which was substantial. And we knew then. And she did heal. She did recover. But she was only with us for a little less than a month. And started showing signs of pain and difficult and like jumping up on the counter, anything like that, walking, that kind of stuff. And, I just told her, I said, I can free you from the pain. And, you can go across the Rainbow Bridge and I will see you when I get there. And that's what she wanted. So that's what we did. We let her go. And, because cancer treatment on cats is brutal. Yeah. And the chances with an aggressive cancer like that of it being effective were about 10%.
Yeah.
Wasn't worth even going there.
Yeah, I had two cats die from cancer.
Yeah. Well, Callie, my old lady kitty here, she's got cancer too.
Yeah, I just took them home and loved on them until it was time.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing with Callie, except we've had Callie for 2 decades, so she's been with us a long while. And she was estimated 3 to 5 years. So she's, anywhere from 20 to 25 years old. But yeah, it's quality of life at this point. It's slowly getting closer, but she's not ready yet. We'll let her go. But at least Goldie is what we named her. The feline leukemia kitty. She didn't succumb to that. She ended up succumbing of a mistake at the vets with that shot. But she left this world, aside from the cancer, healthy. Her fur was like silk. Very much loved. And that is way more than she had in that alcove at Godfather's. So, and she didn't have to do any more babies because when they shaved her tummy to spay her,
you could tell she had multiple. Yeah,
she had major scarring. Yeah, she had been popping babies for a while. We have no idea how old she was. She was just kind of in that zone where you just couldn't really tell, tooth-wise or otherwise, how old she was. Callie initially at the vet was estimated 1 to 3 years, which was kind of their go-to number. But having her for a while and what have you, I could tell she was more of a 3 to 5 year. And, so yeah, 3 to 5 years on top of the 20 that we've had her, that means that she's, 23 to 25 years old.
Yep.
That's pretty old for a cat. But
Really,
she came
leave
to
my
us with a
stuff
mate,
alone.
and the mate has already passed.
Yeah.
It was a bonded pair, and Tommy Tumithius was his name. We called him Tommy. We lost him a few years back. So, but we've had a lot of cats. I mean, Inanna, she was our alpha up until a few years ago when she passed. She was the lone survivor of a coyote attack that took out her mom and the rest of the litter.
Mm-hmm.
Which, from my understanding, was a pretty significant litter. She was a ticked blue long hair. Oh my God, she was gorgeous. And she also ended up being my diabetic cat.
Yeah. You were mentioning that.
Yeah, but then there was Charm, Amelia Charm. We called her Charmer because she was a little charmer. She was a little flirt. She came to us 6 months old, hit by car, broken hip, major road rash. She was emaciated. Somehow she got into our yard. Don't know how, because we had a fenced yard. Somehow she got in there and got up under, I don't know, it was this wagon thing that you put on the back of your riding lawnmower and pull around. Don't know what they call them, but we had one. And our dog Sarah found her. And Sarah was a rescuer. She found her, she seen her, she went and checked her, and came and got Sis. I was taking a nap, and came and got Sis. Sis came and woke me up, said, "We've got a majorly injured cat in the yard that needs help." And so I got up and told her, I said, "Get the large dog crate and set it up in the shop." And we got her set up in there, called the vet, and it was on the weekend, called the vet and said, she's got major injuries and is definitely going to need an assessment, but right now she's starved and dehydrated, so I'm going to get her stomach kicked back in and get her rehydrated. And unless an emergency arises, can we schedule for Monday? And this was like a Saturday afternoon, I think. And so that's what I did. I got her stomach kicked back in, started her with water, and then we had kitten formula around, so I made up some kitten formula and gave her some of that just to, nourish her. With, mixed in wet food.
Right.
She was pretty weak, so it was a little difficult for her to like gnaw kibble and that kind of thing at that point, and she had some broken teeth, so I was concerned about being able to eat, jaw, all that, but she could lap, so I did that, and I added some corn syrup to it, glucose, because I had a feeling her sugars were low, as weak as she was. She was anemic, of course, from blood loss. She was in a rough way, but we got her perked back up and what have you, and took her in on Monday. And she had a broken hip, and her jaw was fine. It was just some road rash, and the tips, just the very tip of a fang, had busted off. But it hadn't gotten into, the nerve pocket or anything like that. And it took a little bit to get her built back up enough to be safe for surgery. She was too weak for surgery. Took about a month of nursing her. The hip had punched through, but was solid. They couldn't operate right away, so let's see how she does, because some of them with that, the body will calcify and shore it up, and they don't
I had one of my babies had my other half didn't listen to me, We were retiling the kitchen floor, and I had a board on the opposite side where the kids were. And he decided, on the opposite side of where the kids were, more into the kitchen. Yeah. And he decided, no, I need to put it on the other side. Hi, Real Squirrel.
Hey, Squirrel.
How you doing, Christian?
But yeah, she ended up not having to have hip surgery, but we did take her in for her
Glad
stay.
You popped in.
They buffed that tooth so that it wasn't a rough edge, smoothed it out on the top, and assessed it to see whether or not it didn't need to be pulled. It just needed a little smoothing, and there was plenty of room to do that because, like I said, it was just the very tip of it that had busted off.
So
they just
wound up.
it.
They wound up running around and whatever. I swear I was with the cat. And of course hit the board. The board fell in toward where they were. She didn't get out of the way fast enough. Broke her leg.
Yeah.
I was ready to kill him. So here I am. It took me a week. I finally found, because I had wrapped it, stretched it, put a little tiny side splint, and wrapped it. I did that for the first 2 days, and then she kept gnawing at the thing. I said, all right. So I took it off because something told me that she wanted it off. Like, what are you doing, Ma? Take this stupid thing off me. So I took it off, and in the meantime, I had couple more days passed, and the one vet of the ones that I called me back and said, oh yeah, we'll do the surgery for free. You'll just have to pay for the anesthesia. I said, well, let me see how she's doing tomorrow, and I'll give you a call, and we'll see what's going on. Well, she must have heard that phone call. Because she was sitting there, and suddenly she had her leg stretched out. She's licking her leg. Within, that was in the morning. And then by early evening, she got up and walked over to, hopped on, waddled over, the one leg stretched out over to the bowl, and had water and a little bit of food. I'm like, you don't want this surgery, do you? She laid back, waddled back over, laid back down, stretched the leg out again, licked it into place, basically. I never took her to surgery. You'd never know she had a broken leg.
Yeah.
2 days later, she was hobbling around on it, and then within another week, it was like it never happened. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
She did not want that surgery.
Definitely not.
And plus, when they're that little, and they were only 2 months old, 2.5 months old.
Yeah.
So the healing thing was there, so thank God. But
yeah.
No, I didn't think that was gonna stay. All right, so this is what I did here.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And that. Oh.
I like how you did the spirals on the bottom.
Well, it gives it a little more interest than just straight,
Yeah. Adds to the layers of texture and all that.
What the heck are you?
Yeah, it's neat with these little panels that these can be either appliqued onto something or can be stitched back to back and made into a little pillow. These are socks. And then this too. You can either cut out the circles and stitch them, or just do the fold over and make another little pillow.
Yeah. All the extra little stuff.
Yeah. She always adds a little something to go along. Like this one goes with the little birdie motif right here.
Right.
And then the little owls go with the little owl right here. So, I'll get that light on again. There's a light on my camera, and it's a touch. You touch it, and it kicks on. It's got 3 levels. And you move the camera, and of course, you know, bump it, and the light comes on. But
where in the world?
I don't have all my stuff together yet to stitch, so I'm just gonna get some of these cut out.
Oh, there. So yeah, this was a pair of earrings. But it was, the second one was missing some of these.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 of these.
Yeah.
So went that.
And they even come with snaps. Little sew-on snaps.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I didn't pay the $7 a piece for these little ones that she had. When she originally came out with them, she offered to the doll groups a bulk buy offer, and I jumped on it. And that's how I got these. I actually only paid about $2 to $3 a piece for these.
See, so in essence, there's before and after.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like yours better.
It's more interest to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also it's like, you know, you had the cotton and then you had the metal, so it's kind of the texture, you know.
Yeah, I'm all
rather
about
than just being
texture.
all that cold metal.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, well, I think I'm going to call this one. Guess we're coming up on the 3-hour mark here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Yep.
But no, these scraps, this is 100% cotton. So these scraps, I'll cut it up into the little shreds.
Oh, yeah, to use as stuffing.
Bag. No, I cut this stuff up, and yeah, sometimes I use it for stuffing, but other times, if I have an abundance, I cut it up into shred like that and put it in a bag to put out.
Oh, outside. Yeah.
Yeah, for the birds in the spring.
Yeah.
Nesting material.
Would you stop chewing that? That's not yours.
With 100% cottons. And I always cut it to where the fibers are no longer than about, at most, 1 inch long. So the birdies can't get tangled.
Oh, yeah.
You know, thread, if I'm using cotton thread. I, you know, like my flosses or just sewing thread, whatever.
About that.
Yeah, I cut them into little teeny tiny lengths and put them in a bowl out on the deck. And the birds snatch it up for nesting material in the spring. I just save it up all year.
I don't know if you remember the big gold link chain I was working on. But yeah, I changed my mind totally.
If I seen it again, I'd probably remember it, but in the moment, yeah.
Changed my mind totally. When I was doing the gold and black with the beads.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, changed my total think on it. So now.
You did a crafty redirect like I did with the backpack.
Yeah, all that stuff came off.
Yeah.
And then I wound up doing just this to the side.
just a focal motif. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yep, I like that. Definitely. And that's what happens. Sometimes you get sunk in the quagmire of the project and can't see the forest for the trees. And then all of a sudden you're like, no, this ain't working. You step away and you walk back and you're like, ugh.
No, yeah, that's what happened. I kind of looked at it again and I'm like, it's too much. It's for this. I mean, I don't know. It just isn't working for me.
Yeah.
So
that's what I do.
We worked it. And people would be like, after all that work. Yeah, that's right. After all that work.
Well,
I don't like it. I'm not going to leave it.
This one just has a couple of butterflies. This one got snicked off on the side. But this one's whole. And I could use that as an applique on something.
Oh, and then when I was making all the little circles.
Yeah, see just a little butterfly there. This one,
the final
on this side, got snicked off on the edge when they cut it. But this one I can salvage along this side. I love the detail on these. Even the background of the fabric has, this is a gingham. This one had, little sun swirls in the background. I don't know. There we go. I don't know if you can see them because they're so tone on tone. But her detail when she made these up was just amazing. It's called The Doll Project by Jessica Hamilton. 2013. Yeah, I had these one.
So this is what happened with that.
Oh, neat.
And it's so much lower, like, because a lot of times you see this in like wood and stuff like that, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're wood circles. But this is the cotton and it's just so lightweight, and I used the beads.
Yeah, you made like little crochet yo-yos. Yeah.
Well, this is just straight. They're not really yo-yos, they're just discs. Yo-yos fold over each other.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Strung on something, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. Strung onto a crocheted necklace.
That is pretty. I like the colors that you chose for that. Nice.
And that was with the fabric, got the yarn that Johnny gifted me a while back. It was one of the main multicolor yarn that's in there. And then, see, I do finish these things. And I thought about it today that I should run through some of the finished ones. And I just thought about it when I said, oh, I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
And then there was this one. The filigree that I was working on.
Oh, yeah.
And now here it is with its beading and its chain.
I like. Nice.
And these are glass beads. I think that's the only projects that I had that I left without finishing them on air. So I figured I'd pop them in just so if people are looking through the videos and they're like, oh yeah, she did finish that.
Yeah, I do think people wonder, they see something that they particularly like what you're doing and they wonder how it turned out.
Yeah. So I figured I only had a few of them. I better show it so this way. I don't like leaving people in a lurch like that.
Yeah.
Because I'd want to know. I'm like, oh man, how did that come out?
Yeah.
All right. Well, yep, I'm calling it. Calling it. My body's starting to talk to me.
Yeah, I bet. 3 hours.
Yeah. Well, plus the setup and grabbing all the stuff because I don't do it where
Yeah.
I have all my things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I got that little project started. All right. All right, folks. So whoever popped in and watched the video, I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us. And if you see something you like again, you can always email me. And other than that, please hit the thumbs up, make a comment, and let me know where you found me if you hadn't already. And have a good day. All right, Cheryl, you have a great day of crafting.
You do the same, honey. Just try to have a good day. Get rid of Murphy's Law off your tush.
I know. Bye now.
I've had days like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, honey.
Bye, everyone.